they have held that the issues of jurisdiction and merits and all that will be decided later. But it is very, very clear that the Indian stand is victorious. Yes. And I must congratulate the persons concerned, including the Ministry of External Affairs, on the steps they have taken. And let us now hope that the next step, which is the final push or the final step, which will happen sometime in August, that also comes India's way. And that's the time we can see that Mr. Jadhav can come back home.
Sir, all the arguments raised by Pakistan have been shut down.
Let's talk about a little,
is it binding on Pakistan?
Little bit about how much does it indict Pakistan's position?
No, it is obvious that the whole world and the international community, at least of jurists, have reacted in one voice, and that voice is against the stand taken by Pakistan. So the whole world now knows that there was no trial, the entire thing was a charade, and this military trial and a trial in camera was really nothing, and the whole bogus stand put forth by Pakistan has been completely blown by this decision. So, as far as the judgment is concerned, it is certainly binding on both the states, because the final decision will decide the ultimate question of jurisdiction. So there is no question of saying that it is not binding on one or the other. It is binding on both the states till a final verdict happens.
Sir, हिंदी में आपसे चाहते हैं जानना जो फैसला है आईसीजे का, इसके बाद
ये बहुत अहम फैसला है। इस फैसले ने ये दिखा दिया कि सारी दुनिया और सारी दुनिया के न्यायाधीश और 15 न्यायाधीश की ये बेंच होती है, उसने दिखा दिया कि जो भी दलीलें पाकिस्तान ने रखी वो गलत थी। जो भी उन्होंने दलीलें रखी कि प्रॉपर ट्रायल हुआ, मिलिट्री ट्रायल हुआ, वो सब बोगस पाया गया। इसलिए कोर्ट ने ऑर्डर किया है कि इनको जाधव जी को फांसी की सज़ा नहीं दी जाएगी और मामला पूरी तरह से सुना जाएगा, पूरे मुद्दे देखे जाएंगे और वो होगा किसी टाइम अगस्त के महीने में। इसलिए सारा भारत और जाधव जी की फैमिली अब इस इत्मीनान से रह सकती है कि वो सेफ हैं और सज़ा नहीं दी जाएगी जब तक पूरे मुद्दे का फैसला ना किया।
So is this order binding? So is this order binding?
क्या बाइंडिंग होगी पाकिस्तान में?
And sir, if it is not binding, will we take it to the United Nations Security Council?
देखिए, बाइंडिंग ये दोनों स्टेट्स पे बाइंडिंग है। दोनों स्टेट्स ने अपनी दलीलें रखी। पाकिस्तान कहता होगा कि जुरिस्डिक्शन नहीं है, बट जुरिस्डिक्शन का मुद्दा जब अगस्त में डिसाइड होगा तो तब तक तो दोनों स्टेट्स पे बाइंडिंग है। और अगर कल को पाकिस्तान बोले कि ये बाइंडिंग नहीं है तो उस पे और चीज़ें और दलीलें और अथॉरिटीज़ पे अगर जाने की ज़रूरत होगी तो भारत जरूर जाएगा, क्यों नहीं जाएगा।
So there have been instances where the International Court of Justice orders have been defied and the countries have not followed them. What happens in that regard? What is the step do we take? Are we ready to go to United Nations for that then?
Well, I cannot say what steps can be taken right away. The order will have to be studied. The reaction of Pakistan will have to be seen, as you are suggesting they may or may not agree. And then one will explore all options. Why not? When you have taken the first step, you must take the last step also.
Pakistan can be given right now, sir?
Well, I hope consular access should be given, because non-grant of consular access according to the Vienna Convention is one of the main points in this case, apart from the fact that there was no real trial. So I hope Pakistan sees sense, comes back on track, behaves like a responsible nation and gives consular access. Not only consular access, even the family should be given access to meet Mr. Jadhav, and then the matter will be carried.
So, for instance, we know how Pakistan has behaved. We are aware of Pakistan's antecedents. For instance, let's assume the Pakistani government decides to not pay heed to what this judgment has.
I don't think there is any need for any assumption. I think it is very, very clear that both the states, both the nations were parties before the polls, We respect the decision till a final decision. You must understand this is an interim decision. And every day in interim decisions, even in domestic courts, one party says that a court will have no jurisdiction. But till the court rules and the party is before the court, it is binding till a final decision is taken. So why are you assuming?
And so just to
Pakistan-
talk a little bit about the impact of India's win, you know, if you can take our viewers through
Pakistan ka
how does it really reflect on India, the
On the
Indian
international
government's,
arena.
internationally speaking, you know, the Indian government's efforts at the ICJ?
See, the stand of the Indian government has been vindicated. Although it is provisional today, it's not a final decision, but it's a big step towards a final decision. Because if Mr. Jadhav had been executed and people were unsure, then God alone knows what would have happened in the final decision.
तो हेग के पीस पैलेस में भारत की बड़ी जीत क्योंकि अब पाकिस्तान अगस्त के महीने में कुलभूषण जाधव को फांसी नहीं दे सकता। मगर बड़ा प्रश्न वहीं बना हुआ है कि क्या पाकिस्तान बाज आएगा, क्या पाकिस्तान इस बात को मानेगा? क्योंकि ऐसी कई नजीरें हैं इतिहास में जब इंटरनेशनल कोर्ट ऑफ जस्टिस ने जो फैसला लिया है उसे सदस्य देशों ने नहीं माना है।
ये है एबीपी न्यूज, आपको रखे आगे।